I think it was February 18th, and like sometime in the middle of the afternoon. I got a text message or a phone call, or so I don't remember what I got, but did you read the Sun Gazette? No. The trailer park's been sold to Aqua America, and we have to leave. And that was February 18th. I read it. Construction to be starting in June. Holy cripes. We just kind of soaked that up for a day or two. It was kind of, I think, over the weekend when all this went down. It was like maybe a Thursday or a Friday. I was working 96 hours a week then too, so that really didn't help much. February 23rd, I think it was, and I could get the date for sure, but I think it was February 23rd. We got a letter from the former owner of the trailer park saying that he had sold the trailer park, that we all had to be out March 1st. Then we got further communication from a real estate agency in Williamsport that said that yes, the park had been sold, that we had all been told by the former owner that our leases had been terminated, effective immediately, by the way, that they were willing to compensate us $2,500 if we got out by March 1st, which was give or take a week. And then if it was after March 1st, that amount would drop down to $1,500. I said they can't just come in here and suck water out of the river and da-da-da. So we started digging a little bit more and found out through the article and a couple other resources that the SRBC had indeed improved the permit, and that's how the sale went through. I think the whole sale hinged on whether or not the SRBC approved the permit, which they did, so the sale went through. Somehow or other, we ended up, one person made a phone call or an email contact or a website contact or something, and next thing I know, we got help from all over the country. That's when Wendy and Alex and all them got involved in it and came down to meet with us, and they're trying to help us. They're here to try and help us keep the river in Riverdale. That's pretty much it. That's how we led up to where we're at now.
Could you say something about some of the reasons why some of you are here? Because I think it's not just about choosing to stay. I think it's about feeling compelled to stay because it's so difficult to leave. I wonder if you could just...
It's not so much choosing to stay, Wendy. The remaining 7 residents that are here don't have an IRA, which some of the residents have cleaned out their IRAs. They took their retirement money, for God's sake, to facilitate the move. The Noltes out front left 4 days ago. They still hadn't gotten their shed out yet. But at the time that they actually pulled their trailer out, it was $9,000. They had to actually hire someone else to come in and get their shed because the original contractor, their trailer was too high and the underpass was too low. So they had to add extra money on top of that $9,000 to be able to get their shed out. But even at $6,000, I don't have it. Kevin doesn't have it. Dawn doesn't have it. Scott doesn't have it. Denise said, I'm too close to retirement. I'm not touching that money. I'm not. Right. I'm just not doing it. That's my retirement. I can't do it.
Of course.
She said, I'm too close.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of money.
It's incredible that people should have to use their retirement savings,
right, exactly,
in order to facilitate a move for this facility.
Yeah, it's like I said. I mean, I unfortunately didn't plan too careful for retirement, so I don't have anything for retirement. I don't have anything to tap into.
And you're still raising kids?
Yeah, I have 10-and-a-half-year-old twin girls.
Yeah, and it might be useful to just say something about the children who live here.
Yeah, there's kids all over the place. As I said, when we first had our very first rally or meeting or whatever, there's an old saying, it takes a village to raise a child, and this was our village. This is everybody raised everybody's children. If my kids went to the neighbors and caused trouble, they didn't come knocking at my door saying your child did this. They disciplined them. Like I said earlier, I worked 96 hours a week trying to keep my store going, and so therefore I wasn't home. I could see my kids an hour a day. But April and Eric took my kids over to their house when I wasn't home and fed them, made sure their homework was done, sent them home, said, you know what, it's getting close to the time your mom's getting off work, get in the house, get your shower, you got school in the morning. You know, so even though I wasn't here, some adult was telling them what to do.
And you felt like the children could play here safely. This is a good place for children.
If depending on what day it was, if I had to be to work at say 6 o'clock, which that happened quite a few times, the kids' bus didn't pick them up till 7. So I was in constant contact with them between that time, and I would call them at 10 of and say, okay, time to go out the door to the bus. And from the time they left my house to the time they got to the bus stop, somebody was watching them. If I was working afternoon, they got off the bus at 20 after 2 or 20 to 3. Somebody was watching them from the time they got off the bus to the time they got home. Like I said, no matter what happened, there was always a caring adult here for them. Like I said, we all took care of each other. This wasn't just a bunch of trailers sitting on a plot of ground with people that didn't know anybody, didn't care about each other. We were all here, we were all in this together, we were neighbors, we were friends. It was like we were one big family.
What would you say that the Aqua America decisions, their purchase of the mobile home community has done with respect to the neighborliness of the community?
They destroyed it.
Yeah.
They destroyed it. We started out with, well, there was 32 plus. I mean, a few stragglers here and there that maybe this was like a temporary stop for them or something. There were actually people who would travel from out of state in motorhomes and stuff that would rent a lot here for like a month or so.
Yeah.
And it's funny how if they have kids, that's all it takes. If you have kids and they have kids, you know each other within the first 4 hours.
Of course, yeah.
Kids just gravitate toward each other.
Sure.
So we have the one young lady, her father was actually on one of the pipeline crews, and he was from Texas, I think. And so we exchanged emails with that young girl. She would come over, and we went over to her place, and we all had cookouts, and we used to meet down here in the field and have a fire at night, roast marshmallows and hot dogs, and regardless of what was going on, somebody was always available. I would come out in the morning, go start my car, and it didn't start. I knew who I could call. Got jumper cables, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I knew who I could call.
I think maybe the most important question that I think if I were watching this that I would want to see answered would be, what do you want to happen? What is the best possible outcome? What do you want to happen?
The best possible outcome?
Best possible outcome.
For Aqua to lose the permit to withdraw water. I want the SRBC to rescind that permit. Yeah. And get them out of here altogether. Yeah. Because what they're doing to the environment is wrong. I'm a certified scuba diver, and I've scuba dived in that river.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Cool. I followed fish around in there with a regulator in my mouth going, here, fishy, 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 fishy. Really? I've followed the bass to the nest. Yeah. And I've watched them guarding their nest, and the mud puppies. We call them mud puppies. I don't even know what they really are. Right. They kind of look like a half dog, half beaver river rat. I think that's what they called them. Somebody called them a river rat at one point. I've seen the aquatic life down there. Maybe 15, 20 years ago that river wasn't in such great shape. But in the last 10 it is. And it's clear. I could see things. So you want the park to be restored, people to be able to move back if they want to. Yeah. It well maintained. Yeah. Well, the maintenance part of it, we'll do that. We'll take care of it. We've been doing that up until now anyway. From the time the sale went through, we've been doing that. So we actually have a lawn tractor and lots of people with push mowers and weed whackers and lots of kids that could use scissors. So what you want, I think, is a community. I want our community back. I want our family back. When the first trailer rolled out, that was bad enough. It just kept getting worse.
Yeah.
Doris Vrabel was here for 38 years.
Yeah.
She sold everything she had. She's living in a one-bedroom efficiency. Fred Kinley, 27 years. His mom and him lived in the front trailer. She died, he stayed. And Fred's 81 years old, 82 years old. It's his trailer out there. It's gutted now, and there's nothing there. Mm-hmm. April and Eric and Mikey, the kids would, in the summertime, would go out. If the ice cream truck didn't show up that day, Mikey had freeze pops on his porch waiting for the kids.
Mm-hmm. The day we were here doing a press interview and the ice cream truck came in for all the kids, that was when I really understood how many kids were actually here, right? Because we're all running to the ice cream truck. And I was taking pictures of all the kids getting ice cream, and that moment just sort of crystallized for me the nature of the community, the children who lived here.
And if I wasn't home, these guys would pony up for the ice cream,
Yeah, right.
And it didn't matter, it didn't matter. I mean, it was, a couple bucks, and we never, in all the time we've ever got together, I would call, like April would say, come over for dinner, and I know you just got home, come over for dinner, did y'all eat yet, if I would go to the store and I would buy something and not have a chance to make it, I would send it over to April's with the girls, and April would cook it, and nobody ever said, hey, greed rears its ugly head. Mm-hmm. I paid such and such, you were here, you didn't pitch in for any of this. There was never any of that. Mm-hmm. It was, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine, we all shared. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it was family. It's not a bunch of trailers with just people. We're a family. Mm-hmm. And Aqua's ripped that away from all of us. The SRBC, by granting that permit, condemned an entire community. They destroyed an entire family full of people that loved and cared about each other.
You think the SRBC had prior knowledge?
Yeah.
And that's
Susquehanna River Basin Commission, yeah.
Yeah. The former owner knew we were here, never told any of us, and he had been in negotiations with us since last August. Yeah. Never told any of us. We found out in the Sun-Gazette. We read it in the newspaper. Aqua America had to have toured this facility at one point because they found out it was for sale. They had to have come in here. They had to have known there were 32 families in here. What did they think was going to happen to us? Their statement is, we thought we were getting a property free and clear of any residents.
So nobody did their homework, including the SRBC. Right? They would surely have known that there were at least 32 families living here on this property, and had been for more than 30 years.